Hello, ladies and gents. It's Hagbard Celine here on another beautiful day, and before this even begins, I'd like to start this off by apologizing to any of my German followers. What's about to follow is a bit low, but understand that it's the cultural meme that I have to work with, and try and forgive me.
What does it do for us? It brings us from chaos into order. It brings order to chaos. That's what culture does. Culture is powerful. European understands that.
And they ask me, what does it do for us? It brings order to chaos. It brings order out of the chaos. Culture is powerful. The Jew knows this.
It binds us to each other. It gives us identity. It gives us a reason for surviving.
It brings us together. It binds us. It gives us our identity. It gives us a reason for surviving.
And then it tells us who we should live for and who we should die for if we have to. Culture is an energy source for thriving.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, more of that Pan-African spiritualism. Look in the background. If you look closely, you can see that the title of her book is in the background, The Yuguru Virus. And by Yuguru, she means European.
And it gives us a sense of security. It also puts us into a system of accountability. We are accountable to our ancestors.
It gives us a sense of security and accountability as we are accountable for our ancestors.
Now, with you looking at all of that, and it's a template for living, then think about it. And it is a petri dish. So that African culture becomes a petri dish, it produces Africans. It cultivates Africans. And no other culture can make that statement.
And when taken as a prescription on how to live, it operates as a petri dish. And from this petri dish, the true German can rise. And only from this petri dish. No other culture can claim the true German.
You hear me? No other culture can produce and cultivate Africans. Only African culture can do that.
I say again, good people, no other culture can produce the true Aryan.
If we look at culture like that and see it as a means by which a people protect themselves,
That's that face when you absolutely know you're about to overstep your bounds and you're not sure the audience will buy it.
then we could understand culture as the immune system of a people.
Then we will all understand that this culture is an immune system for the people. From the filthy, degenerate outsiders.
Think of people as an organism, and culture is that immune system, right? Okay. Now what does the immune system do?
Well, shucks, I ain't nothing but an ignorant redneck, and even I know that what happens is an immune system, mostly composed of singular white blood cells, will come together in larger and larger groups until the threat is removed from the body.
The immune system, you have the T cells, you've got the lymphocytes, which become the warriors, right? Their job is to recognize the antigens. An antigen is a foreign body which threatens the health of the whole.
Our goal must be to find the antigen everywhere it lay and remove it from our culture.
And that's where you get that seek and destroy. Right? That's right. Because their job is to neutralize, eliminate in any way that disease, that poison, those antigens, those things that work against us. Okay? Now, we look at culture as that. Genetic memory, if you read the medical journals.
And now we're going to go down the path of pseudoscience that is actually favored by white nationalists. I'm not sure who started the debate, but the argument that culture is genetic is hilarious, frankly.
Is connected to the immune system. They all talk about that. And I'm fascinated with genetic memory.
She has now stepped beyond her own metaphor and confused it for reality. Somehow, genetic memory, which is not really a thing in today's terms, we call it evolutionary developmental psychology, is being linked directly back to her metaphor about culture being an immune system. She's lost her own plot. And for the record, I'm not just poking fun at some crazy woman who has some weird spiritual beliefs. This woman is a doctoral holder. She has a doctorate's degree in anthropology.
So that there are these memory cells which carry the knowledge and information about how to defeat the disease.
Nope. Just 1,000 times nope. That has already been disproven. What you are describing is Lamarckian genetic memory, which is a goddamned myth. Cut it the fuck out.
And I'm saying culture is all of that. Right?
That's right! No, in all honesty, it says something about your position that you constantly seek affirmation.
Okay, so what happens? You got the Ma'afa. Everybody know what the Ma'afa is? Yeah. Ma'afa is a great disaster.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, what we're witnessing right now is the building of a mythology. Like ancient style mythology here.
That's the kidnapping of us and all of that. The disconnecting us from that cultural womb.
Oh, yeah, and for the bigot in my comments section, the Back to Africa movement wasn't started by white people, and it's not being continually prompted by white people. She's saying it. I mean, just listen to this language. She describes it essentially as Mother Africa, and that you were ripped from the womb of Mother Africa. Oh my god, fine, go back. Have fun. It's an utter shithole like it was when we took you from it.
Yeah. Okay. The Ma'afa carries the virus.
In case anyone was wondering, I offer her as being the beginning of this whole idea that there was this post-slavery traumatic disorder. This is kind of where it comes from, guys.
The virus is the Urubu virus. See, all of this is very culture specific. This is all about us.
Your levels of narcissism are shocking.
This is all about us. This is all about us. This is all about us. I ain't talking about anybody else right now. I'm talking about us. When we use the term Ma'afa, we're talking about an African experience, something that was done to us.
When we use the word diktat, we mean a German experience, something that was done to us. The treaty was a lie.
We're not comparing it with anybody else's. If we did compare it with anybody else's, we would understand that it is the worst crime against humanity ever committed by one race of people.
I don't know, if you're hearkening to the Atlantic slave trade, we shipped like 12 million people across the ocean and only killed about 2 million of them. I wouldn't exactly call that like the worst crime against humanity. And if you're talking about the loss of culture that came after that, trust me, there are better cultures to fall into.
So it carries this virus. Now, while the Ma'afa is carrying the virus, the process of the Ma'afa is Europeans committing cultural genocide against African people.
Yes. Alright guys, you heard her. Pack it in, pack it up everyone. We're just gonna never interact with Africa or any Africans again so we don't erase their precious cultural identity of slashing the throats of live cattle and drinking the blood because of a lack of water. That's very important. It's extremely important.
What is genocide? The killing of the genes.
And now that she has, through pseudoscientific means, linked genetic memory, culture, and genocide, et voila!
So they have always worked to erase our cultural memory. Why? You see, you erase the cultural memory. What is that going to do? It's going to destroy and break down the immune system.
So, the old man on Fox News that's saying that black culture is a detriment to white culture is right? and I should be listening to him?
Is it not? Okay. So we become vulnerable, and what is the nature of a virus? Virus really has no life of its own.
You see, she's saying now that Europeans, i.e. white people, have no culture and thus are viruses. This is her language use. I'm not putting words in her mouth in the slightest. This is clearly what she's saying here.
Right? Did you know that? A virus needs a host.
Right.
It is well known that the Juden is a virus, and without us, he cannot survive. He is like a cockroach. Would not society be better without them?
And cannot be without being attached to that host. And in the Ma'afa, we become hosts for the Yoruba. And that's what that's about.
Tell me that's not the face and mannerisms of a clinically insane person.
Now, if that's the case, it doesn't matter whether the European is here or not. It doesn't matter whether they sit in this audience or not. Because we will behave like them. If we carry the virus, it affects our behavior.
Yes, well, you have clearly freed yourself of all irritating European constructs like logic and reasonability.
And so what they have done is to create a situation in which we begin to destroy ourselves. That results in a condition of cultural AIDS. Cultural AIDS.
Okay, in all seriousness, what the fuck is wrong with you? Who, even if they believed this, would say the phrase cultural AIDS with a goddamn smile? That's just weird.
Cultural AIDS.
Oh, never mind, I get it. You're smiling because in this metaphor, white culture and white people are cultural AIDS. Yeah, fantastic. Good job. Alright, folks, well, that about wraps it. It appears as though we all just have to accept that white people are a virus, and we're destroying the planet, and we're destroying all other cultures because they're clearly superior cultures, and we should just give up the fight. But instead, I think I'm just gonna have to leave you guys with some examples of this AIDS virus, just a little bit of white culture, and some of the Nazi memes I found and I didn't get to use, and I'm disappointed. So, here goes.